Hey everyone, it's Dutchess. For those of you who don't know me, I am Dutchess. This is my channel, Dutchess Divinity. And we do lots of stuff here, but I'm going to do a pick a card reading today to see what it is that you need. I'm going to be using the tarot and oracle cards. Hi Space Girl. Thanks for coming into the live. And thanks for liking. But yeah, I'm going to be using the tarot and the oracle cards. So I'm going to say a prayer, set our intentions, and I am going to turn off the chat temporarily while I'm reading and everything so I don't get distracted. So I will check in between each group, but I just thought this would be fun because we haven't done a live pick a card in a very long time. So yeah, sit back, relax, be open to receive. I'm gonna pray, and don't forget to like the video so more people get notified and can come join the chat as well. All right, everybody take a nice deep breath. Benevolent guides, guardians, ancestors, angels, Star Family, Higher Self, Yeshua, Baal, Ra, Yemaya, Kornika, Sophia, and God Source, I humbly come to you today on behalf of myself and those here now and later. And I just say thank you so much for everything that you bless us with. And I ask, please, that you continue to bless us in our lives. And I just ask, please, that you make me a messenger for the divine, nothing more, nothing less. Let no truth be told for a lie, no lie be told for a truth. That all the information that come through be kind, palatable, and easy to understand. Please let it aid all of us in, knowing what we need right now, knowing what our body, minds, and souls might need in this moment, so that we can properly give it to ourselves. Sometimes, we can be great listeners for everyone else, but we're not always the best at listening to what we need personally. So yes, I'm just asking for messages, please, that can aid the viewers in healing and being in their highest timeline and in their highest efficiency towards moving towards their dreams and their goals and, all their wishes, all the good shit, that they want. So I'm just praying this with the purest of hearts and the best of intentions, only ever for the highest and greatest good of myself and those here now and later, the highest and greatest good of humanity and the highest and greatest good of this universe. And I pray that this reading finds those who need to hear it, and I also pray that it repels those that it's not for, or anyone in a low frequency or that is not of Christ consciousness or not seeking Christ consciousness in their life. Amon Ra Ashe Namaste, by the power of three, so mote it be, it always works, always a blessing. Okay, cool. Let's do it, guys. So, okay, I am going to talk at the end because I'm doing this, really cool spell, and I've been going to this place. So there's this place that, if you guys know, I have a couple haunted dolls in my house, and I have Clement, which is a little cutie. He's from, I think he's from the UK, and I think he's like 8 years old. He was fishing with his grandfather when he accidentally drowned, and so when I got him, he was definitely a nervous little spirit, and he didn't like water or anything like that. If you hear crunching, it's Sunday. She's in her little cat tube, but they're being big girls now, and I've had gates up to separate my kitchen, but they're getting kitchen access now during the day, so they're growing. They grow so fast. But anyway, I crossed over Clement so that he would not be stuck in his fear and turmoil and everything that he had experienced. Basically cleared his karma, crossed him over and stuff. So he's much happier now, and actually I find that the doll is a lot more active since I crossed him over. I know it's gonna sound nutty, I don't care, everything I say sounds nutty, but I was holding him one time. He's really small and cute. I can get him after, but I was holding him one time, and he literally turned his head, like his doll head, to look at Sunday, because Sunday was on my lap, my cat, and he like loves the cats and always like talks about like, oh, the babies, that's what he calls them, and he's always asking me like, when am I gonna have a baby, because he wants like kids in the house. But anyway, he took us to this really interesting space that I've been to before, like in my dreams and meditations. And I've heard that people end up in this place when they're on like psychedelic trips, and particularly like DMT. And it's like this psychedelic realm of doors and stairs. And if you know anything about like doors, stairs, train tracks, anything that gets you from a bridge, anything that gets you from point A to point B is considered a gateway in spirituality. So, and I've heard about this realm and that it's like connected to the Nephilim. So if you know about the Nephilim, it's what the Bible would consider fallen angels. So there are bad and good. And then the seraphim is what the Bible would consider like the biblically accurate angels, right? Where they're just like eyes and feathers and they're all, be not afraid, because their form is all like creepy to humans. They can also be winged serpents, the seraphim and the Nephilim. So like when we think about Aztec times and how they would worship like Quetzalcoatl, he was like a feathered flying dragon serpent thing. So it's like there are seraphim and there are Nephilim, and apparently the Nephilim reside in the psychedelic realms, which is why you hear about people having bad trips where they were getting like chased by like a jester, or because I guess the Nephilim also, there's this whole YouTube, it's really good. It's called, I think it's called Understanding Conspiracy, and he talks all about how, like, the Nephilim look like clowns, and that's because they were the fallen angels, and they were, like, these serpent-like creatures that were mating with the humans. So when they were mating with these humans, the product of this matrimony was, I heard in my head, unholy matrimony, I guess as the Bible would say it, but it created these really like dark creatures that were like very, very reptilian, right, in the sense that they were like hunting and cold-blooded, and they had these really big grins. So like it's just like we see it all the time, like we see the Nephilim surfacing in culture, like with the Joker, right? Like the Joker is just like a freaking crazy guy, and he's got the big grin, right? And but apparently they had the big smiles because like when you think about a snake, they can like unhinge their jaw, right? Like they have a really big mouth and they can unhinge their jaw. And also they were really sensitive to the sun because they for whatever reason their skin was just super sensitive, so they often had like red noses like the clowns, because their noses were, when you think about when you get sunburn, you get it worse on your nose because it sticks out of your face, right? So, and they were often like just burnt all the time by the sun, which is interesting because so many cultures throughout time have worshipped the sun and seen the sun as like a benevolent being in and of itself. And when we think about today, what are the technocrats trying to do? They're trying to block the sun with CEMTRAILS, right? Or they're trying to like how Gil Bates is literally like putting powder in our atmosphere, like taking rockets up to put powder in front of the sun in our atmosphere. Like, what the hell? I don't know. So it's like, it usually seems like these darker creatures, right, they have an aversion to the sun, or they're trying to take away our sunlight, because as humans, like, we need the sun to survive. Like, there's no getting around that. Like, you need your vitamin D, you need your, unless you have some kind of like, you know, illness or something that makes it so you can't have that, or you're on some kind of medication that makes you have an aversion to it. Most humans need it to survive. Same with plants and animals, the creatures of the earth. So anyway, this is like my really long way, my roundabout way of saying, so there were the Nephilim, and they were like the really dark, negative, fallen angels. Not all of them, but most of them. I've also channeled on Patreon that they had kind of like, they were terrorizing the indigenous as well, which is a theme we see continued into today, right? Like the indigenous just have been terrorized throughout all of time. But the Nephilim would terrorize the indigenous, and they had a particular taste for the indigenous because apparently these Nephilim fallen angels were like literally eating humans, which is interesting to me that like so many people have this like fear of clowns and they don't know why, and it's supposedly this irrational fear. But if a clown looks like a predator from back during what it was called was the dream time, when all the angels and fallen angels were just roaming the earth. You can't find a lot of information on this out there. It's really hard to find other than the Old Testament, I guess. I don't know. I haven't really read the Old Testament, but that's like when there were dragons or mermaids or like these fallen angels were literally like roaming the earth. So it would make sense that like you have this leftover fear, the same way people fear spiders and snakes, right? Like those, if you got bit by a spider or snake back in the day, that's it, you're done. Like there is no medication to bring you back. Before there was, hospitals and different things like that, right? I mean, you could suck the snake venom out, but I don't know much else that you could do. So it's like we have these fears that are written in our DNA that go back to it's instinct, right? Like it's our instinct that makes us feel that way. So anyway, the Nephilim supposedly live in this psychedelic void, and they're constantly trying to come out and find bodies to possess, literally, right? Just like how a demon needs like a body, if you want to call it a demon, it needs like a body to possess, it needs permission to get in that body, and then it'll possess it. So they live in this psychedelic realm. But then on the other end of things, you have the seraphim, which are like the biblically accurate angels, the benevolent creatures. So like the thunderbirds, like when you hear about in indigenous culture, when there were these creatures that were called the thunderbirds, and they were like these human bird hybrids, much like what we think of as like a regular angel, right? Like, or how angels have been portrayed nowadays rather than the biblically accurate form, right? So like the seraphim, and even the Bible recognizes the seraphim as angels, but they would be the thunderbirds. They would be like Quetzalcoatl, who had stopped human sacrifice and was only accepting and was even asking the Aztecs and everything not to drink. Like he didn't, because he had a very shameful experience when he drank too much alcohol, where he ended up having an incest experience, like after he got too drunk. The god Quetzalcoatl, it's in his lore, you can look it up. But so he was like urging them, like, don't drink, like don't sacrifice humans, don't sacrifice children, like I just want flowers. And that was like a turning point for their culture, where it was like they stopped making all these like more toxic and self-condemning sacrifices, and were able to just do more in a lighthearted, more of like a Christ consciousness frequency. So so Quetzalcoatl would be considered a seraphim. The thunderbirds are seraphim. Yeah, even when we think about ancient Egypt, I'm feeling this in my third eye. Y'all feel that? Even when we think about ancient Egypt, like what was Aset, or Isis as the Greeks called her? Like she was a winged human, right? She was like a hybrid being. She was what the Bible would consider an angel, but nowadays the Bible would call her a demon, because people are so like strict on like, if it's controlled opposite. Religion, in my opinion, is controlled opposition at this point. But anyway, yeah, so all that taking me back to what I was talking about was we did a meditation on Patreon with Clement, the little haunted doll spirit boy. And he took me to this gateway, and it was like all these psychedelic, like the typical psychedelic checkered floors, like you see that the Masons have blasphemized, right? When we think of Freemasonry and MK Ultra, they've blasphemized so many of the symbols that, are not necessarily bad. They're just using them for bad, and then they make people scared of those symbols because of what they've used them for. So it's like that place has the typical black and white checkered floors, and then these like psychedelic looking stairs, and then these psychedelic arches, almost like how Whoville is very like, that's what it is. It is psychedelic. It's cartoonish, right? So that's where Clement took us, to this realm of doors and stairs and gateways. And so I've been kind of like exploring that area a bit more, and I'm going to be doing a spell, which I'll get more into at the end of this pick a card, but we're going to be going there, and we're going to be literally quantum leaping and stepping into a different like parallel timeline and universe where we're leaving behind certain things that are basically tearing us down in this reality. But so my point of saying all of this is I want this message to come from that realm. So like if that's not something, if after everything I just told you, if you're like, I'm not really comfortable with that, Dutch, then that's fine. You can feel free to not watch this one. But I want to get that message from that gateway between realms. I want to get that message from the benevolent seraphim, right? Like the positive angels and dragon like serpent, the winged benevolent ones, I guess is what I'll call them, in Christ consciousness frequency. That are actually, you know, of God as you perceive God, of source, of goodness, that, and rather than like the Nephilim that are of that like darkness and that opposition and that hate humanity, or they hate goodness, or they just hate anything connected to God. So I'm gonna go to that realm, and I'm gonna pull cards for each group, and I'm gonna tell you like what you need to know right now, and also like if there's stuff that needs to be released, or if there's like a cleansing ritual that would be beneficial for you to do. I'm gonna channel that as well. But I forgot my water. I'm gonna go get my water, and then I'm gonna get Clement. This is Clement. As you can see, he's like, I told you he's so small. I wasn't expecting him to be this small. He's so cute. But he's a little jester. And I know I was just talking about how like the Nephilim look like clowns, but I do feel like there are probably benevolent seraphim who look like that as well. And he was, I think he was like born in the 80s, which makes sense because I feel like this was like, these were like the cool decorations in like the 80s and 90s. Like I know y'all had a family member that had those like creepy freaking porcelain masks of just like the faces, the lady faces on the wall, like the theater masks, you know, like the happy and the sad masks. They like, I had so many family members who just had those creepy things like on their walls as decoration. Everybody take a drink. Okay, let's get to the groups. All right, group 1 is gonna be this seashell. You can listen to all the groups too. This is just for, because a lot of people are like, how do I know if the message is for me if there's no pick a group? So I'm just doing a pick a group. But group 1 will be this seashell. Group 2 will be this seashell. Group 3 will be this seashell. I'll hold them up all together. By the way, guys, I think I've finally, if you've been working with me, you know that I've been like really sick. Like really sick for like a year. I think we're finally getting to the bottom of it because all the doctors just kept telling me, oh, you're just having anxiety. Oh, you're just having grief. And I kept being like, no, there's something like really wrong with me. And finally, I think we got to the bottom of it. I'm not going to say too much because it is like my personal information and my left eye just twitched. So I know that there will be some freaking weirdos with their evil eye trying to be like, oh, well, you can't live a happy, healthy life. But just know, bitch, I've outsmarted y'all dumbasses if you are wishing bad on me. And I didn't give up, and I found the root cause of my illness. So screw you if you want to see me suffer, and I love you if you want to see me happy. But anyway, here are the 3 groups together. Group 1, Group 2, and Group 3. So go ahead and take a minute. Quiet your mind. Take a deep breath. And go ahead and pick your group. All right, let's start with group 1. All these seashells are from my, I had a childhood collection of seashells. So they're all from my childhood collection of seashells. All right. Okay, these cards just fell right out. So we have the Four of Cups, the Judgment, and the Hierophant. So there's something that you're about to get judgment on. You've been really working to, I just heard get information. So you've been trying to get information or closure about something, or you've been wanting recognition. So for example, let's say you have a job that it's like, they don't pay you right, or they don't appreciate you. They have you doing all this work. So you've actually, with the Hierophant and Judgment, you've created a judgment day where you're going to get a better offer. So either you're going to get a better offer from that job, or you're going to get a better offer from a different job, and you can say, sayonara, suckers, like, was not nice knowing ya. But either way, you have a judgment day coming. If you are like hung up on someone romantically and you're like, I want my closure, or like no one compares to this person, or you're wondering like, oh, how are they feeling about me? I just want them to tell me how they feel, whether it's good or bad. I don't care. Just tell me the truth. Give me the truth. I want nothing, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. It's coming. Guess what? It's coming, and it's when you least expect it. This could be about family as well, or I just heard frenemies. So like, if you've been looking for the truth on someone, if you're like, I don't know if that person has like my best interest in mind, or like, I don't know, like their behavior's been kind of weird. Or like if there's like family that you're like, are you like being shady right now? Basically in your relationships or your work, you've created a judgment day that is going to liberate you and free you. So whether it frees you from your concerns and gives you like the confirmation that you're looking for, like, oh, okay, yeah, that friend actually does have my best interest in mind, or it frees you because you're like, oh my god, that friend was not a friend at all, and then you remove yourself. Freedom is around the corner, and that is what you need right now. And you're focusing so much on the in-between. So Maria had talked about, she's an astrologer, and she had talked about how we're in the eclipse void. I think it was like a week or two ago. She was calling it a void, and I was like, okay, yeah, like that really makes sense to me, that we're in this void space. And so it's almost like you've been focusing on this void, or the lack, or the wondering, or the emptiness, the in-between, and then all of a sudden I just heard, bam, out of nowhere, you get that answer, you get that cup, it's coming right in. By the way, Sunday chewed this card, so that might be a synchronicity for you. My cat chewed this card. But anyway, so yeah, you created this though. Like, you've been doing a lot of inner work, and that's what you need to know right now. You need to know that it's time to give yourself some more credit, and also that you're blossoming, because like, look at this. This is like sacred geometry. Oh my god, and how I was talking about the realm of like the stairs and the doors. Look, it's like the stairs and the door at the top of the stairs. That's crazy. So it's like you're opening and you're blossoming, and right now it's like you're at the bottom of the stairs, and you're like kind of still focusing on this lack, and you're waiting for this piece of information or this truth to come in so that it can guide you up this, so that you can go up the stairs, so that you can free yourself and liberate yourself. When you get that piece of truth that it is that you're looking for, you get that opportunity. Like I was saying, if you're looking for a better job, or you're, you know, looking to move and you haven't found the right place to move to, or a new car, or whatever, like you're just waiting for that opportunity to come in. And what Spirit is saying is, like, during this time, instead of focusing on the in-between and the unknown, what you need is to just continue to pour into yourself. So like doing your self-care, doing your meditation, your journaling, taking a walk every day, like whatever it is that makes you happy. If you like to paint, if you like to draw, like making sure that like in the time that you would be scrolling, which I know is easier said than done, it's such an addiction, in the time that you would be scrolling, or the time that you'd be worrying about like, when am I going to get my answer, instead of sitting there worrying because it will be handed to you on a silver platter, you should focus on you and do stuff that works for you. Spending time outside, even like time I feel like is better spent listening to a podcast than it is like scrolling or dissociating, right? So what Spirit wants you to know is that you need liberation, and that you're on your way towards liberation. But in the in-between, in the void, in the waiting, I just heard that Tom Petty song, the waiting is the hardest part. In the in-between, in the void, in the waiting, it's best to go within, and I'm literally seeing like a monk, how like a monk like blocks out all distraction and just like, or how Siddhartha, the Buddha, was like, I have all the riches in the world, I'm still not happy. So he walked his ass out to the woods and he sat under a tree and just fucking sat there and sat with himself. Like, that is what you need right now, especially because the path you're taking is going to have you blossoming and blooming, and it's going to liberate your heart, your body, your mind, and your soul. And if your body too, I'm really seeing if like your body has been bothering you. So like maybe you like, let's say for example, you like broke your ankle or something and you're like, this body is a prison. Like, it's like you're gonna heal eventually and your body won't feel like a prison anymore. But if right now you're just feeling like something about your body or even your home, like if you've outgrown your home and you're like, this home is a prison on planet bullshit in the galaxy of this sucks camel dicks. Just kidding. Classic. If that's how you feel, then it's like just in the in-between, you're gonna be liberated eventually. But in the in-between, while you're still in this home or car or having the illness or like whatever, like, is you got to do the inner work, right? It's reminding me, I was reading this book from this lady who like, something happened and like she couldn't do anything. Like she got sick or she got hurt in some way where it was like she couldn't like work out and she couldn't like read because like I think maybe she got like a concussion and then also had some physical illnesses. So it's like she couldn't read because she would have the headache. Like literally all she could do was nothing. And then in that nothingness, she had to like break down her idea of like, what does it mean to be valuable? Because she felt like her value was derived by what she could do or what she could produce, when in reality her value is derived by just being herself and just still being alive and still existing. So I feel like it's like a moment of that where it's like your value isn't based on what you can do or what you can achieve or, you know, how fast you run and now you have a broken ankle so you feel like you have no value because you can't fucking run at all. Like, it's not about that. It's about finding like it's okay when I just exist. It's okay for me to just heal. It's okay for me to just rest. It's okay. I don't have to be working 70-hour weeks to be considered a valuable human being. Like, does that have a payoff? Yeah, of course. But at what price, you know? So I think you're, like you said, you're just in that almost like a womb space, right? Like the void. Okay, let me get some oracle cards for group 1. The Yes Cake. Ooh, girl. If you've been wondering about a relationship, okay, so we got the Yes Cake, the Threesome with God card, and the New Clothes. So I just heard topsy-turvy, and that also reminds me of the Nephilim realm too, right? Like, because that's from the Hunchback in Notre Dame, and they're all dressed as jesters, right? They've got on all the like patterns and the jester hats. And please comment after if you want me to go in hard on like the Nephilim and break down jesters and things like that, because I have a lot of knowledge on it that I just haven't really been sharing. I've just been like deep diving into it in my own time, but I would be happy to share. And then we have High Octane at the bottom. So things are, okay, I feel like things are about to flip upside down, but in a really positive way. So this is for the person that's been praying for change. Everything is staying the same or getting worse, right? Like when you're like, please, can things get better and can they please change? And then they change for the worse and you're like, that's not what I meant. But so this is for the person that either has been super stagnant and things have just been boring, or like things have been stagnant and steadily declining. That's because you're literally shedding and you're releasing. So with the Yes card, the Threesome card, and the New Clothes card, this is about like literally flipping your perspective on life upside down and shifting into a completely different reality. Like you've been, okay, they're showing me with this like High Octane card, it's like when you pull back a slingshot, right? You've been in the pullback, you've been in the in-between where you're pulling, and then you let go and it's like, so like, you've been stuck in that space of just being pulled back. So that's why it feels like things are falling apart, or it feels like you're going backwards, or 2 steps forward, 10 steps back, because you have to pull back to make a that's such a good analogy. You have to pull back to make the slingshot go forward. So if you felt stifled or you felt like you're going backwards, it's because you're about to shoot forwards with this with the high octane card. And then with the new closed card, this is all about like everything being new. So it's like new clothes, new job, new house, like new phone, who dis, like new partner, whatever. You could very well be getting a new partner or a new cycle. If you're not getting a new partner, you're getting a new cycle with your partner. So like, let's say you've been friends with benefits and then you take it to the next level, or, you know, you're dating and now you're engaged, or you're married and now you're like, okay, I think we want kids, or we want to move into a house, or we want to get a pet, like, or we want to start a business. Like, there's so many different ways that that you could end cycles with one person and begin a new one to create like to create a completely new chapter in your life. So that is coming in. Some of you could be getting married and then having kids here with like the threesome card, because when 2 make 3, right? But yeah, and I also feel too, like, for those of you, if your body's been holding excess weight that you don't want, when you catapult forward, it's literally like hibernation. Like how the bears, they like eat a bunch of food before they hibernate so that it satiates them for the winter in their hibernation. Like, it's like that. So like, if you've been feeling like, oh, I just can't lose this weight, or like, why am I holding all this extra, even if it's not weight, if it's like mental energy, or you have a lot of clutter in your house, like all of this is about to clear away as you shoot forward, whatever you've been holding on to that you don't want anymore. So yeah, definitely. Well, I just got chills on my crown chakra. I'm still getting them. So I feel like you're having a crown chakra awakening. I just heard your halo, see your halo. So you could be waking up new gifts, or the person that, you know, you're starting this new cycle with, whether it's a new person or it's someone you've been with a long time and you're starting this new cycle, you're activating this like angelic or high tantric energy around your relationship and around sex, because that's what this threesome card is about. It's like threesome with God. So basically bringing like tantra or like spiritual energy into the bedroom. It's going to be deeply awakening on a cellular level, soul level, and an emotional and mental level. We'll get a couple more cards, then we'll move on to group 2. What's cooking? Okay. Yeah, I was saying, what's that card? Ooh, remember how I was saying you're about to get clarity on something? You're going to find out, like, who your real friends are, or, like, you're going to be like, you're going to leave that job that always took advantage of you, and you go to the better job and you realize just how much that other one took advantage of you. Or like, you realize that like your friend isn't a friend, it's a frenemy or whatever. So we got the vampire 2-step, which this is about people like taking advantage of you. And then we have the fairy dust card, which is about things being shaken up. And then, and magic. And then we have the grape stomping card, which is about shit getting messy, but embracing the mess. Because you gotta, I just heard you gotta crack a couple eggs to make an omelet. You gotta stomp a couple grapes to make some wine, right? So I just heard emphasis on the wine. So this person might be very whiny, or always complaining, or always giving you a problem about everything. But yeah, this person's been taking way more than what they give, and they've been really sucking the life out of you and spirit, particularly the fairies, if you like work with the fae. If not, like your ancestors, your angels, your star family, whoever you work with is coming in and saying, enough is enough, my nose is itching. So this could be someone that you've already cut off and let back in your life, because like when my nose itches, it means someone's coming back. So this could be someone trying to get back in your life after you already, you know, there's a reason you're not friends anymore, there's a reason that you cut them off in the first place. And so it's like spirit is just saying, I just heard be wary, but also like spirit's gonna show you exactly the truth about this. So the truth about who's been, you know, taking more than they give, or like the truth of if they are actually a good friend and they were not meaning to do that, and when you have a conversation with them, hey, like, why do I always have to pay for lunch? Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I didn't even realize, you know, whatever. But your spirits, your guides are coming in to make a mess, but shit always gets messier before it gets clean, right? Like, if you're doing a deep clean of your house and you gotta, like, pull the stove out from the wall and shit, like, your house gets messier. But then when you're done cleaning, it's, like, twice as clean as when you started. So, yeah, Spirit's coming in to show you exactly who's here in your life for you and who's using you. Damn. And we have what's cooking, so you could be reevaluating, like, your diet, or this is also, too, just about making, like, regular tasks, like, seeing the divinity in them. So, like, it's about finding creativity, whether it's in your cooking, or it's in, you could be doing some kitchen witching, or if it's, like, it's this card asks you to get creative, so it's asking you to, like, maybe write in your journal, write a poem, draw, even if it's just doodling while you're in class, drawing, painting, your makeup, your hair, like, just get creative. But also this is talking about finding the magic in the mundane. So, like, if you are cooking, like, how can you kitchen witching it up? I've been reading this book about Italian folk magic, and so much of the cooking and stuff, so much of the magic is done in the kitchen, which is fascinating for Italians anyway. And then we have Archangel of Mental Makeovers and Wicked Wonders. So basically, how I was saying, you're in that slingshot phase where you're being pulled back. Your whole brain is being rewired right now while you're in the in-between as well. So it's like you're getting this clarity, and the spirits or your guides, your ancestors, whoever, they're God, as you perceive God, they're literally clearing out your brain. I just heard creating new neural pathways, which don't underestimate the difficulty of that. Like, it's not easy to create new neural pathways, especially when the neural pathways that you've been using are really, you've been using them for a long time. But that's because what's on the other side of that slingshot, like where you get slingshotted to, I don't know if that's how you say it. I don't think you say slungshot. That doesn't sound right. Wherever you get slingshotted to, it's more beautiful than you could imagine. And let me tell you, if you're a Cancer like me, we have been in our, oh my God, am I gonna survive era? Like, the planets, this is us, this is Saturn, and all the other planets. I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. That, like, every Cancer who I talk to is, like, hanging on by a thread. Like, they look like the, well, my soul feels like, you know, those up-close pictures of SpongeBob when he's, like, in the tree dome, and he's like, I don't need it, and he's got, like, he's, like, just so focused on still having his pinky out while he's shriveling up and dying. Like, that's been me under this astrological forecast, and every Cancer I talk to is like, same bestie, and, like, all the astrologers are like, Cancer, are you still alive? Like, Cancer, you okay? So, but I'm just bringing this up because things are supposed to get so good around our birthday month, like around June, July. Things are finally start to turn around for us for, like, the next couple years. So hold on tight, baby, because we still in the back slingshot if this is for you. But anyway, where you're being slingshotted to is more beautiful than you could have imagined. It's still going to be chaotic, it's still going to be crazy, but at least it's going to be enjoyable, right? But that's just life, right? Like, that's, you can't escape life, and that's just the way life is, and we live in a polarized reality. So, yep, but right now your mind is being cleansed, and I just, like, they just want me to remind you, like, this is all for your highest and greatest good. Like, you're not being punished as much as it might, because, like, I felt like that so much over the last couple years. I'm like, what did I do to deserve this? Like, why am I being punished? And the answer was always, like, you're not being punished. Like, basically, you're being alchemized. You're being molded. You're being molded into the version of you that needs to level up in order to accept the responsibility or the blessings that are waiting on the other side of you, on the other side of this transformation for you. And that it's really not a punishment. It's a lesson. And that lessons aren't punishment. Like, if you learn from them, they can be really powerful. Same with challenges. Like, if you can learn from them and you can grow from them, then it's not a punishment. It's only a perceived punishment if you make it that way, which is easy to do when you just keep getting knocked down. But anyway, that's what I got for you, Group 1. Please like the video, share the video if you think someone else could use it. Comment in the chat or after the fact, and don't forget to subscribe if you want more videos from me. And thank you guys for the likes. It really helps with the algorithm. All right, maybe I'll check the chat quick before the next group. I cannot stop smiling. Hey, Cheryl, I'm glad. Hey, Cassie. Pinkies up, besties. I am a Cancer rising and moon. I felt, yeah, literally when in doubt, pinkies out. I have a lint in my hair. What's going on for us Leos? Girl, Earth Angel, Aaron, I don't know. I don't know. You gotta ask Maria. Happy spring. You are so gifted. Thank you. Wow, you always cheer me up. So glad. Glad I scrolled today. Yeah, me too. Hey, Faith. We're going to get on to your pile next. Hey, Nikki. Fave notification. Thank you. Aslem. I hope I said your name right. Sorry if I didn't. I'm just an American. I can't always pronounce the names. I have the same wish I could gift you. I'm sorry to hear. Can we keep you in prayer? Yes, please. Please keep me in prayer. Please pray for my healing. Like I said, I think we found the root cause, which would make so much sense. Like, I have all the symptoms of the root cause, and it's a very treatable issue, and the issue runs in my family. So it was likely triggered by all the stress and grief that I experienced in the last year. But like I said, doctors have just been keep sending me home saying, oh, you're just having an anxiety attack. Oh, you're just in the middle of grief. Like, this is why you feel so bad. When in reality, like, yes, I was having anxiety. Yes, I was having grief. But there was a major physical underlying issue that I knew was going on. And they just kept brushing me off. So I'm happy because I finally found a doctor who, like, did a full blood panel and was like, oh, girl, I can see why you don't feel good. So I'm happy. We just did, like, more blood. And then we're going to, once we get all the, y'all, I had to get, like, 9 vials. I was, like, sitting there. I was like, y'all almost done over there? Like, I could feel my face get so red and stressed from all the blood work. But they were really nice. They were, like, talking to me, trying to, like, take my mind off of it. But, yeah, thank you. I always welcome the prayers. Thank you. Just got here. What's the root issue? I'm not saying yet just because it's my personal, like, medical information, and we don't have the root cause yet. We're like, I'm like 98% sure, and so is the doctor, but like I said, we just did some more blood work, but it's very easily treatable. I've already started, like, a vitamin regimen that is helping. Obviously, it's not taking care of the issue completely, but it is helping. And hey, Kenna! So yeah, super grateful to finally be getting some productive help from the doctors. Sweet soul, thank you. Lots of love, gal. Thanks. Good, 100%. Like it a lot. Great advice. Keep up the good work. God bless. Thank you, Delarice. All right, guys, let's get on to group 2. Gonna hide the chat because ADD. Okay, this is for those of you who chose this cutie little seashell. It's kind of like light pink on the inside too. It's really pretty. I don't know if it's really coming up on the camera, but yeah, this is for group 2. Take a drink. What's crazy too is, like, I drink so much water, like an insane amount of water, and my tests were all coming back to hydrated. I was drinking like 5 of these a day, if not more, and then it was like, I was like, how can I possibly be dehydrated? But And they were saying, oh, it's just like from all the crying and all the grief and this and that. But no. The issue can cause like dehydration and stuff like that. So it's all just really like validating that like we've like like I said, we're like 98% sure of what's causing the medical issues, and like I have all the symptoms to a T. So it's just, I just really look forward to feeling healthy again, because it's like I gained a bunch of weight. I'm so tired all the time. I can't do my workouts and all the stuff I usually do. Like I can't do as much content or work that I want to do. Like I'm just so looking forward to like having my life back, because it sucks. And my heart goes out to anybody dealing with like chronic illness, or like, you know, undiagnosed illness, or autoimmune, or cancer, like anything. Like my heart really goes out to you, because I heard this saying the other day that a healthy man wants for all, but an unhealthy man only wants for one thing. And that is the damn truth. Like when you're not feeling healthy, all you want is to feel better, and like nothing else really matters, right? Because if you're not healthy, you can't do shit. All right, let's get to group 2. What does group 2 need right now? Okay. Whoa. So, okay. Group 2, there's something that was like supposed to come to you a long time ago, but it didn't work out. So like maybe you thought, like, I guess I'll just use myself as an example. Like I thought that I would be like married and have kids by now, but obviously the COVID pandemic like put a wrench in a lot of people's plans for their lives, and just like other things put a wrench in that plan for me. So it's like I have to like deal with the fact that like, you know, it doesn't make me bad, it doesn't make me less than. I'm just on a different path than maybe other people my age, or other, you know, people that I know. So it almost feels like, though, it almost feels like there was something that was supposed to come to you a long time ago, but there was like spiritual attack against you. And I'm not saying that to scare you. Like, we need to really just like be okay with like observing spiritual attack for what it is, doing what it takes to cleanse ourselves of it, and then moving on, instead of falling into the fear, like falling into like, oh, well, they cursed me, I need to curse them back. And I'm not judging anyone who feels that way. I've been in that loop myself, but I'm just ready to get out of it personally. And also, too, like, I'm not letting spiritual attacks scare me anymore, because at the end of the day, I'm the creator of my own reality. And so I can always regain control over my reality, right? And subliminals have helped me a lot with that. Because it's like, so even the fact, like, I was doing these subliminals before I knew what was wrong with me, because like my face is puffy, which is like another symptom of what I'm going through. And so I was doing subliminals to like reduce swelling in my face, and then I ended up going and getting all this blood work, which is going to get me to the root cause of the problem, which will in turn reduce swelling in my face, right? So like the subliminal itself might not have fixed the problem, but it got me on the track to get the problem fixed, which is how I feel about spell work. Like, you have to be taking proactive action if you want your spell work to work. Like, we do still live in a 3D reality. So, yeah, so with here, oh, I just heard destiny swapping. So it feels like, because the 5 of Swords is about someone stealing what is yours. So it feels like someone was trying to destiny swap with you, or someone did successfully destiny swap with you for a period of time. So maybe it's like, let's say like you were supposed to get an inheritance, and then like you have this horrible family member that came in and challenged it and was like trying to take all the money and like taking you to court or whatever. And so your destiny was supposed to be to receive that inheritance, but you've been on this weird timeline for like, let's just use an example, the last 5 years, like in court fighting for what's already yours. And that's just one surface level example. Like, there are so many ways that people can destiny swap with you or try to take what's yours. And I actually want to do a whole video on it. Leave it in the comments after if you'd be interested, on Hailey Bieber and how she's clearly destiny swapped with Selena Gomez, and how like she just copied her every move, literally even getting the exact same tattoo she had behind her ear. Like, when I know some of y'all were watching that 7-part series that just came out, and it's like that bitch clearly destiny swapped with Selena. And you know, who knows who really turned out worse, because, you know, she's in this marriage now where she's being treated like shit, and it seems to me like Selena and Benny are happy together. So in the end, who really is hurting when you do black magic like that? You kind of just end up hurting yourself. But anyway, it's like somebody tried to destiny swap with you. So they tried to steal what is yours. This can also come in the form, I have so many clients who right before they were about to reunite with their twin flame, their twin accidentally gets pregnant with a karmic. And it's usually like an abusive karmic, like someone who's like really low vibrational, who puts the twin and the child in certain cases in danger, or just in a really bad situation. So this could even be somebody fucking destiny swapped with you with your relationship. People can destiny swap with you with your money and your inheritance. People can, I just read one about a girl who, like, she had a nice family, and then one day her dad cheated on her mom and made a second family, and then went to go be with that family, and like, was that family's now living the life that like she had, and then he just left her and her mom and her siblings to be poor. And so she was like trying to like take back her life and like create her own individual wealth, so that she never had to rely on somebody else for like a certain like lifestyle or access to certain things in life, right? So I really feel for you, group 2, that someone was destiny swapping for you. I just got sick to my stomach. Like, I just felt nauseous when I said that. And so where you were stuck here in the 2 of Wands, like waiting and waiting, I just heard, someday my prince will come. So you've been sitting here waiting for what is yours to come in, and someone fucking stole it. And for some of you, you're watching that person live what was supposed to be yours. Like I was saying, like if you're in a court battle for something, or, you know, whatever someone stole of yours, you're watching them succeed while you're stuck behind, I just heard, closed doors, and almost like a zoo. Like she's kind of like in a zoo, like behind the glass. So it's like, yeah, and it really hurt here with the 3 of Wands, and I feel like there are like really intense cords on you right now, and it feels like you've been trying to find this balance to like cut these cords. So I'll give you, like, they're saying like an egg cleanse would be good, and also too just making sure you're doing your cord cutting. And so like how you do that is you just meditate, take 5 minutes of your day, and just imagine either pulling these cords out of you at the root, because if you can cut a cord, but if the root's still there, it doesn't do any good. And also you can cut a cord, and if you don't tie it, the cord can just reattach. So either pulling the cords out by the root, or if you cut them, tie them, and then alchemize them. So literally imagining them melting away after you cut and tie them. Or like I said, if you just want to make it easier, rip them out at the root and then fill in the space in your body that had the cords. Fill it in with like light, like ask for God's light, because it feels like these people could have even been doing like poppets. Like I literally just saw like a poppet, like poppets, like voodoo dolls, and then look at her, she's literally bound. So I feel like this person who was trying to destiny swap with you, they were tying you up, they were binding you, they were doing this like this spiritual attack or this black magic. And if it wasn't a person, like if someone wasn't actively doing spells on you, there's some spirits that you pissed off, and it's so easy to piss off demons. Like, you're just a nice person, and they're like, well, I don't like that, you know? So it's like, if it wasn't an actual person, and then for some of you, it is a person who is doing it physically, but there's like a demon or like a low vibrational spirit or creature that's like over their shoulder, like, yeah, make that voodoo doll, tie them up. Yeah, I've got like a headache just thinking about this. But, and if it's your family, that's even more special kind of fucked up. Like I was saying, like, if you're supposed to get an inheritance or something, and then they're like literally doing black magic to destiny swap and get your part of the inheritance, like, that's dark. That's some dark shit. And so it feels like you've been trying to balance your life, and you're like, why can't I just win? Like, why can't I just win? Why can't I find balance? And it's not your fault. It's because you have a lot of opposition around you. But like I said, do your cord cutting rituals. You can do an egg cleanse. You can do salt baths. There's a lot of stuff you can do to cleanse yourself. But what Spirit's saying is that there will be balance, and you will have victory over it here with the Six of Wands. So once you cleanse yourself of this black magic or this dark energy, once you fully cleanse yourself of it, you're going to be able to bring a balance to your life. And what you need right now is to not be so hard on yourself. So like, if you're like, why can't I find balance? Why aren't things working out? Like, what you need is to find your spiritual center. I just heard, find the light again, because things have been very, very dark and very oppressive. So find your spiritual center, connect to God as you perceive God, find your light again. And I just heard all will be revealed. That's on Kashmir by Led Zeppelin. Like, you see the light is shining down on you. You're being liberated. You're being favored. You're being anointed to take back what is yours, right? To find that balance and to have victory over this situation. And I, like, look at this. This is like a torch. I just heard Sex on Fire by Kings of Leon. So it's like, you have the torch, you win. Also, too, like, for some of you, the Olympics might be a synchronicity, because this is, like, reminding me of the Olympics. So, like, if that's, like, a synchronicity to you, or you feel like your life started going downhill since then, or, like, whatever, like, I have no idea why that's coming to me, but that's coming to me. Sorry, I gotta plug my phone in. But anyway, you will have victory. The light will shine down on you. And the truth will be revealed. Like, the truth of this person who was trying to destiny swap with you, or who was trying to steal your light. This is messed up too, because this could even be like, I just saw it's like someone who's like trying to make you like unalive yourself. And I'm sorry to say that, but people are that crazy. Like, people are that crazy where they wish that, oh, I wish they would just DIE. I wish, like, people wish that on people. People are that crazy. And it almost feels like this person was, like, sending all of that. And if, like I said, if they're not actually doing witchcraft, this is the crazy person that's, like, checking your social media, like, 5 times a day. And, like, just every time they look at your picture, you might want to put your socials on private. You might want to go through your follower list, and then you realize, oh my God, it's that person who's always hated me for no reason. I better block them. Like, this is the person that is hyper-focused on hating you. That instead of, like, living their life like a normal person and, like, creating their own success or having their own happy moments or their own victories, they are dead fucking set on taking what you have. Because the thing about this person and people like this is they don't have a personality. So they see you have a nice personality, you have friends, you have genuine relationships. People like this don't have genuine relationships because they don't have a real personality. This is what I would consider an NPC, and then anything can just take over an NPC, right? Good or bad spirits. So it's almost like this was an NPC with like a baseline of like a dark, low negative frequency that some opportunistic negative spirit that also didn't like you, like, attached itself to them and has been trying to like aid them in almost like taking them for a ride, right? Because like how I was talking about in the beginning, how like demons or Nephilim or whatever you want to call them, they're always looking for a body to possess because they don't have rule over this realm, because they don't have a physical form. So they're looking for a physical form to take over. It's almost like this person hated you and was like, well, why does she have that? I want that. She can't have that. Why does she have success? Or he, why do they have success? I deserve success. Meanwhile, they don't know what you've been through to get that success. And then while they were just sitting around hating you all day, this other opportunistic negative spirit was like, oh, cool. Yeah, no, I hate them too. Let's team up on them. And so, yeah, like I said, you're just going to want to make your socials private if they're public. If you can't make them private, maybe go through and just block some of the people that you know just watch you and hate you. But like I said, you will have victory over this. For some of you, you could be in the public eye as well, because she's like on a stage and there are all these people watching her. So like right now, like I can't control who sees this live. I can't control who sees this video after. Anyone can see that. So that's why it's like you have to do your own rituals. You have to be doing your own cord cutting, your own protection, your own spell work and cleansing and clearing when you don't have the choice to just be in private, right? But I do see you having victory over this, finding your light again, and also like it lights a torch under you. I just heard that Fall Out Boy song, light 'em up, up, light 'em up, up, I'm on fire. Like, it actually lights a torch under you, and you're like, oh, it's go time, bitch. You're trying to fucking destiny swap? I don't think so. Also, crows. Like, when you see crows, the crows are trying to send you a message. So when you see, like, a group of crows, put on your invisibility cloak and then ask them, like, what's your message for me? Because crows bring messages of truth and, like, omens. And you can see he's got that, like, crow on his shoulder. All right, we're going to get, like, one more. Dude, yeah. I just heard, like, a thief in the night. This person tried to steal from you, run away, and then they wanted you to be in misery. I am in misery. There ain't nobody who can comfort me. That's what they, like, it feels like their life goal is for you to be unhappy, which is insane. That's why I'm saying, like, this person doesn't have a personality. They want the happy life that you were supposed to have, and then their biggest idea of success is you being miserable. And that's a crazy person, okay? That's a crazy person. So they wanted to make off like a thief in the night and leave you miserable, but you know what they didn't realize? You still have the light within you. It doesn't matter how much this world tears you down. It doesn't matter how much, you know, people try to say you'll never be successful, you'll never be happy. Yes, you get sad sometimes, but you never let go of hope. And eventually that one little light, I just heard this little light of mine, I'm gonna make it shine. That one little light brings balance, and then it ignites all this other light, and you overcome the darkness. The thief doesn't get away with what they thought they would, and you create this even higher level destiny for yourself. You create something even better than the destiny that they tried to steal from you. So, fuck them. Fuck you very, very much. Lots of songs for this group. Okay, Wild Roses. This is about growing where you're planted. So no matter what happens, like how a rose can grow out of a crack in a sidewalk, it can grow through tough, really tough environments. This card is all about having a tough experience or having a tough environment, but blooming anyway. And also, roses are a sign of the Divine Mother, the Divine Feminine, and they are self-cleansing, like selenite. So, like Teresa does rose readings, and she always says, like, put it in a rose. Like, if you have, like, if you have a worry, put it in a rose. Take this person, throw them in a rose. Be like, get out of here with that funky energy. Get in that fucking rose and get away from me. Just put it in a rose. And then we have Archangel Uriel, the Archangel, Good Vibrations Archangel. So Spirit's saying, like, despite all the shit that's going on, despite all that you've been through, despite all of the obstacles and the oppression, keep your vibration as high as possible and just try to, like, okay, I'm going to give this example. So I was on the way home from traveling with my parents, and we were on the shuttle, and apparently there was like this really rude woman that cut off this old lady, like almost knocked an old lady over as she was getting out of the bus, and it like I missed it. I wasn't looking when it happened, and my parents were really mad, and they were like, you know, making sure the lady was okay, and then after they were like, what's wrong with that woman? They were like really mad for obvious reasons, and like calling the other lady names and stuff. Get this, guys, I didn't even see that there was another woman on the shuttle. Not only did I not see her like almost knock over the elderly woman, I didn't even see her. Like, I didn't even know she was on that bus. I was like, what woman? They were like, you didn't see her? I'm like, no. Because I was in a different plane of existence than her. Her vibration was so low, because if you're that much of a piece of shit that you're going to knock over an elderly woman so you can run off the shuttle 2 seconds before her, you're a piece of shit. Like, you're just a piece of shit. That's it. You're a piece of shit. Protect the elderly. Don't fucking knock them over so you can get to where you're going 2 seconds faster than her. That's fucking weird. So, yeah, I was not even on the same timeline as that piece of shit, to the point where I was blinded to her. I didn't even know that bitch existed, and she was sitting there right next to me. How crazy is that? So basically what Spirit is asking you with that, like, archangel of good vibes is like, you're not even on the same plane of existence as this person that's trying to destiny swap with you. Go to your higher timeline, and they don't even exist. They don't even exist on the higher timeline that you're headed for. Okay, we got Wicked Wonders again. Okay, we have Mending Day, which is telling me that what has been stolen from you will be returned and it will be fixed. So whatever was taken from you, you will fix it here with Mending Day. Look how cute the mouse looks. It reminds me of Cinderella, because he's got a little needle and he's like sewing it up. So like whatever was stolen from you will be returned and it will be fixed. And then we have Wicked Wonder, so you're actually getting a better timeline than the one that was destiny swapped for you. So it's just a higher timeline, because if they want to go on that timeline, it makes that timeline lower vibrational, because they're a thief and they stole that timeline from you. So you're being catapulted to an even higher timeline, and you're being catapulted into a better destiny than the one that they destiny swapped from you. Killer Instinct, you're going to have to cut some stuff out of your life. So maybe it's this person, or like I was saying, like literally cutting those lower vibrational people out of your reality so they don't even exist on the same plane of, like, on the same dimension as you. And also not being afraid to like cut people off, or like, and I'm not saying like cut off everyone, but like I was saying, like if it's like your family member and they're like trying to like take you to court to get the inheritance that's rightfully yours, there's no reason for you to have a relationship with them after that. And then if they try to use the excuse, oh, we're family, okay, well then why would family do that, right? Like, it's okay to cut people off that are abusive and toxic. Like, it's okay. And then Hot Lips, this is about, it reminds me of MASH. Hot Lips O'Houlihan. Maybe you should watch the MASH movie. That used to be one of my go-tos. I had it on VHS when I was poor and didn't have internet. But this is about being grateful. So showing your gratitude even in the darkest of times, and finding stuff to be grateful for even when you're having a hard time. Crazy Mystique, this is about having a different, this is literally what I was talking about in the beginning, about your life looking different than other people. So you having not achieved something because of the strongholds, oppression, or destiny swapping that has kept you from reaching your goal doesn't make you less of a person. It doesn't make you less successful. It just makes you someone who had more obstacles in your life. And it's okay if you don't reach certain milestones by certain ages, because that's not even real. Like, even when you're thinking, oh, I should graduate college by 22 because that's 4 years. No, some people don't even go to college until they're like in their 50s, right? So it's like we have these weird set age limits and rules for certain milestones that you're supposed to have reached in life, and sometimes life circumstance keeps you from reaching those milestones at that age, and that's okay. Like, that's okay. And then with Interview with a Psychic, Spirit is just acknowledging that these are messages of truth, and that you've been feeling this. So if you've been feeling this already, if you're like already feeling like you were destiny swapped, already feeling like you've had this spiritual attack on you, you need to trust those feelings because they're true. You're having that psychic enlightenment. And also too, you're going to be having more psychic gifts come on, because whenever we go through traumatic situations or we go through extreme hardship, we get more psychic gifts that awaken in us. So I just think it's like, because when you go through trauma, you literally unlock different parts. Like that movie Lucy, remember how she just kept unlocking parts of her brain? When you go through trauma, it's scientifically proven that you activate different parts of the brain than other people. So like someone who's been through a traumatic experience and they had to dissociate in order to survive that experience, they've unlocked a part of their brain through the dissociation that someone without trauma has not unlocked, which is why I think I'm so psychic, because I have complex PTSD. I have so many traumatic situations. I think I just kept fucking unlocking doors to my brain, and then it was like I had these gifts because I unlocked them to survive, and then they stayed open, right? So even though you're going through all this darkness and hardship, it's going to unlock more gifts in yourself, and it's also going to give you a different perspective on life, and it is going to help you just to appreciate the little things more because you've had to go through this. So that's what I have for you, group 2. Please remember to like, comment in the chat if you want, subscribe if you want to see more from me, share this if you feel like someone can benefit from it, and yeah. That's it. I'll check the chat and then we'll go to group 3. Thanks for the likes, guys. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you, Nikki. You're so welcome. Thanks. I'm turning 20 next month and I'm definitely not where I thought I'd be. Oh, girl, you're so young. You're so young. So young. My cousin is not in my life anymore. I cut her off because nonstop bad stuff was happening when she was in my life. I got in 2 car accidents and one I almost died in. I'm so sorry, Faith. I'm glad that you've removed yourself from that toxic situation. I have Hey, Lise! I have CPTSD too. It's so interesting, the link between trauma and psychic abilities. I'm tapping into learning more about it. Awesome. David Price, how does it work? I'm not really sure what your question is. You're picking a group and then by the shell, and then if it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, it was not your group. Hey, Pragya. Thanks for clarifying. It's a general pick a card with 3 groups. Thank you. My guides talk to me in songs. I appreciate this so much. I'm glad you're here, Pragya. It's nice to have you. David, if you want to book a reading with me, you can book a reading with me on my website, DutchessDivinity.com, if you want a personal reading, or you can stay for this general reading, whatever you want. Even as a kid, I felt something was up. I was super sensitive to energy, even as a child, because of the upbringing. And so much of the time, children turn those gifts off because they get scared or because people don't understand those gifts, and then they ask them to stop, right? Like the adults in their life. Okay, guys, I am going to turn the chat off again, and we're gonna do a group 3. And remember too, you can always leave comments on the video. It actually helps me. It helps the algorithm, I think, when people comment on the video after the fact. So you can always leave your comments on the video after the fact as well. Okay. And then we're gonna close out after we get to group 3. Of course this was long. I was like, I'm just gonna do a quick little video. It's never a quick little video. What the hell? Okay. All right. Group 3. For those of you who chose this shell. Group 3. Okay, we got a good group in the chat today. Knock on wood. Not trying to invite in the trolls. Okay, My hair looks good today too, huh? Okay, group 3. What does group 3 need right now? Dude, you need love. You need self-love. You need gentleness. You need kindness. You need clear communication. I feel, okay, I just saw like a really cute little dog who was just like on the streets, all dirty, all scared, and then it's like somebody picks up that little baby and they take them home and they clean them up and they give them a good meal and they give them a safe home. Like, you've been beat up, girl or boy or whatever. As Blair White says, baby girl, baby boy, baby they, whoever you are. You've been through it. You need love. I just heard they don't understand. So you might have always been spending time with people who did not understand you, people who saw your sensitivity as a weakness, people who saw your emotions as a weakness, people who saw your kindness as a weakness, all the attributes that we need in this world, in this very cold, cruel world. Like, we need people who are kind, we need people who are gentle, we need people who are sensitive, and people take that as a weakness because people are awful sometimes. Like, if we're just being real, sometimes people are awful. So it's like, I feel like you've been dealing with people doing the mind games on you. So whether that's a relationship or your family or your employer, like, people have been getting you like all like confused in your brain, not clear communication here with the Ace of Swords, and you're at a point where you're like, okay, I don't want the mind games anymore. I need light illuminated on all of this trickiness. This could also be too like gaslighting. Like, you could have left a toxic person that was like gaslighting you or keeping you very confused, truly very confused, mind games, love crumbing, breaking your heart, hurting your feelings, or the I'm sorry you feel that way kind of thing, where you're like, hey, like, I don't really like when you yell at me, and it's like, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm your father, I get to yell at you, or whatever. I'm just making shit up. But that kind of thing where it's like you set a boundary and then it becomes your fault because you set a boundary. And now they don't like you anymore because you set a boundary. But that's because people have been freaking trying to twist you up. They've been acting one way and saying another. So, oh, I'm not mad, but then they silent treatment you. Or like, oh yeah, like, let's go do this. And then you're like, hey, okay, let's go do the thing. And they're like, well, I never said I was going to do that. This is very confusing. And just people withholding, like withholding communication, withholding love, withholding information. It feels sneaky, it feels weird, it feels manipulative. Now, as my therapist says, she's like, most of the time when people are manipulating us, of course there are those absolutely crazy sociopaths who are manipulating you on purpose, but a lot of the times if someone actually cares about us and they're manipulating us, she's always like, they're not like wearing their top hat and like spinning their mustache in their villain era wondering how they can confuse you next. Are there crazy people who do that? Yes, of course. That's what we would call a sociopath, right? Or a psychopath. Like, there are people who do that, but like the average person is not going out of their way to try and create all these villainous schemes to hurt you. That's just how they are because of how they were raised or what they've been through in their life, or society, what society says about them. So, but it does feel like there's been a lot of manipulation around you, and it feels like Spirit's saying, like, just go dark, like, and not like dark energy, like disappear. These people, if they love to use your energy, or they love to confuse you, or they love to talk to you for one day and then ignore you for 3 days when you say something that they don't like, go dark. Don't respond. Leave them on red. Don't go over for Sunday dinner if it's like your parents are gaslighting you. And I'm not saying like, oh, ruin your relationships with people. I'm just saying like, take a step back and put yourself first. So if you don't feel up for Sunday dinner, it's okay to skip. If you don't like the way someone's talking to you or the way they've treated you, it's okay to leave them on red, especially if they've left you on red. Like, the thing about people like this, they like to keep you confused so that they can keep getting shit from you, right? Because if you're confused, then you keep reaching out, or you keep apologizing, or you keep doing things for them because, oh, maybe if I was just nicer or prettier, or I said the right thing, they wouldn't treat me like that. No, they're doing this on purpose. Like, and how I was saying, they're not sitting there like twirling their mustache like, I'm gonna destroy you. No, that was group 2. Just kidding. But like, no, they just, most of the time these people grew up in households with parents who did that, right? And it gets to a point when you're adults where you have to say enough is enough. Either you change or I don't want you in my life anymore, because it's okay. You were raised like that, fine, but now we all have to make choices in our adulthood to be different and to be better and to break those patterns and those like bad, what is it called? Like habits. We got to break the bad. That'd be like saying, oh, I smoke cigarettes because, like, my dad smokes cigarettes, and you're, like, 50, and you're, like, and everyone's kind of like, okay, but, you know, you're 50 years old now. You don't have to smoke cigarettes because your dad smokes cigarettes. Like, you're a dad yourself. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with, like, bad behavior, bad communication style that we pick up from our parents. Like, you get to a certain age when it's, like, not their fault anymore, when it's your fault because you're an adult. And so, yeah, go dark. Just stop responding. Like, literally pull all your energy back. Because it feels like these people are, like, feeding off of your confusion because it's so toxic. It feels like the more they confuse you, the more they get out of you. So then they keep trying to confuse you because they want your attention. So it's kind of like the person that's like, all attention is good attention, even when they're mad at me or when they're upset or this or that. So when you give them literally nothing, that's when you get the clear communication. Because that is what you need. You need clear information and communication here with the Ace of Swords. So what you need to do is fully pull back your energy. Fully pull it back. So like I said, you need love right now. You need support. Like this, like using the example of the little street dog, like the little dog that was left on the street. He's hungry. He doesn't know where to go. He's so sad. You bring him in the house. You give him the food. You give him the love. And then you kick him back out on the street for 2 days. And then you bring him back. And then you kick him out. Like, that's confusing, right? Like, you need to either commit to taking in the stray dog that needs love and support because he's been through a lot, or you don't. That's what you need right now. You need clear boundaries, clear communication, clear commitment, even if that's like not even like relationship, like commitment to working on your relationship with your family members, commitment to your friendships, commitment to your job, whatever. You need clear communication, clear commitment, and you need love. Like right now, you've been through a lot. Like you're literally showing up in my mind's eye, like I said, as this little dog that's like been through so much that didn't deserve any of this. Like when you see an animal living on the street, like most likely they were somebody's pet first, right? Or they were born on the street. Like they didn't ask for that. That's just the cards that life handed them. And so it's like you've been through some shit, some really bad stuff, some painful things. You don't need to be more confused. You don't need to go through more traumatic things. Like you paid your dues. So anyone who's making you confused or upset or just like not giving you what you need, like I said, go dark, pull back, take your power back. And then here with the Ace of Cups and the Queen of Cups, right now is about self-love and putting yourself first. So this is asking you, like, particularly too, if like you have a compromised immune system or you keep getting sick for obviously whatever physical reasons, but also
because you're not getting what you need, and you're like giving to everybody else, and then these people aren't showing up when you actually need them. So it's like Spirit's asking you to, like, first of all, let the emotions flow. So if you need to cry it out, girl or boy or they. Just cry it out. And then like, really let it go. Let go of those emotions. Don't bottle them up in your body. And then you need the self-love, the self-care, the self-gentleness. And we were in our Lent Portal Master class. The Divine Christ Ascended Masters have been talking about, like, treating yourself as gentle as you would treat a baby. Like, if you had a baby you had to take care of, and you're even a slightly decent person, like, you're going to be gentle with that baby because it's a baby, right? So you're going to make sure that, you know, they have everything that they need, that they have their food, their drinks, they're bathed, they're playing, they're happy, they're stimulated, they get their books read to them, they have a comfy place to sleep, they're warm. Like, literally treat yourself like a baby. Like, are you fed? Are you warm? Are you tired? Do you need a fucking nap? Do you need stimulation? Do you need to put the phone down and have some outside time? Like, literally check in with yourself like you would take care of a child. And also, you need love too. Like, it's like your heart actually really does need romantic love. Like, because it feels like there's been so much, I just heard manipulative and conditional love. That makes me really sad for you. Manipulative and conditional love is what you just keep getting handed, or what you keep accepting. And it's like, you need that true love. You need, like, a true... Maria was just talking about how, like, her Uber driver was just randomly, like, talking to her, being like, choose the one who loves you, not the one you love. And honestly, like, I want both. Like, and don't tell me, like, we live in a quantum reality. I can have both. I just feel like we're living in such a deranged time period where people just feel like they have to compromise on, like, everything. And I understand compromise does make the world go around, but, like, I want the one who loves me and the one that I love. Because trust me, I tried dating the nice guy who really liked me and was, like, going out on a limb for me all the time, but, like, I wasn't attracted to him. I didn't feel like I could see a future with him. And then it turned out in the end he wasn't that nice of a guy. We just weren't compatible. So I feel like that's a myth, that it's like, oh, well, you can grow to love someone. Well, I don't want that. Like, I want to love them from the beginning, and I want them to genuinely love me from the beginning too, and I don't feel like I have to compromise on that. But anyway, you need true, genuine, like, romantic love. Your inner child needs some support right now, and also if you want to have kids, or you've had, like, trigger warning, if you've had a miscarriage or an abortion or something, there is a spirit baby that's around you that is supporting you through this. And for those of you, if you want to try to have kids, that spirit baby does want to be born. And you don't have to. A lot of times, like, let's say, you know, you don't actually want children, you still have that spirit baby as your guide, like, your whole life. You're allowed to do that too, like, but it doesn't change the fact that they're still going to be your guide, you know. Maybe too, you had, like, bad relationships. Like, the amount of clients and friends I've had who, like, their partner knocks them up, and then, unfortunately, trigger warning, this is the experience for a lot of women, that same partner that knocked them up then forces them to have an abortion. And maybe not physically forcing them, but manipulation or mental abuse, or refusing to, you know, be a father and show up. And then that wasn't what the woman wanted. And then it's like she holds this deep regret in her heart because the person that got her pregnant also manipulated her to terminate that pregnancy. And like I was saying, obviously this is not everyone's experience, but I've met a lot of people with this experience, because there are just so many deadbeat men who are so willing to use a woman as a cum dumpster and then not take responsibility for their actions. And I'm not calling women a cum dumpster. I'm saying that's how those men look at the women. They're not looking at their actions for what they are. They're looking at them through extremely selfish eyes. But if that is your experience as well, you don't, like, Spirit's just saying, like, you don't have to feel guilty. You don't have to feel shame or any other negative emotions you're feeling about that. That baby is with you always. The spirit of that baby will always be with you. And if you do want to choose to try and have children in the future, it's completely possible for that baby to be born again. And if you don't, that's perfectly fine as well. It doesn't change the fact that that baby is going to stay with you as a guide. So I just felt like I had to say that for this group, because I've met an uncomfortable and alarming number of women who were forced to take that action. So, yeah. What else does group 3 need? I'm so hot right now, but I don't want to take my sweatshirt off because we're almost done. It's time to just get up and see if that key fits. Because she's sitting here so scared that she'll never be free. But there's a key right there. She's like too afraid. She's too afraid to see if that key fits or not. Because if it doesn't fit, then she's still locked in the room. If it does fit, then she has to get up and leave, right? So this is almost the, like, avoiding that conversation that you know needs to happen. Or avoiding, you know, taking responsibility for that thing. Or avoiding holding someone else responsibility for that thing. Or avoiding walking away from something you know is toxic, or changing certain behavior. Like if you just sit and play video games for 12 hours a day and you're like, well, I'm just really not sure what I'm going to do if I'm not playing video games. Just like fucking pick up the key, see if the door opens, and get up, get off the video game. You know what I mean? Like, you just have to do that thing that you know you need to do. If you know you need to clean your room and you've just been putting it off, or you know you need to pay your taxes and you've been putting it off, like, Spirit's saying just fucking do it. Pick up the key and see if it fits. If you've been avoiding, so let's say too, like, if you keep going back and forth in like a friends with benefits kind of situation and you're like, well, we haven't tried dating because I just don't know if we'll be compatible dating. Well, fucking try. And then if it don't work, you're done. And if it do work, you got a boyfriend. You know what I mean? It's like, just do the thing. Meet up with that person, have the conversation, try dating, walk away. Like, what you have to just do the thing. You have to see, does the key fit? If it does, great. If it doesn't, back to the drawing board. Now you know it doesn't fit. Now, like, let's say friends with benefits, you try dating, you hate each other, okay, we're only good at sex. Okay, great. Now you can go look for your proper boyfriend that and leave this behind. You know what I mean? Stop holding yourself in the in-between of what you know you need to do. And I say that with love. Oh my God. That's too much, Spirit. I'm not taking all that. Yep, let go. Gotta let go and open your heart. Gotta believe in yourself, because you're sitting here like, oh, when pigs fly, things will work out. Well, guess what, bitch? That pig is flying. So you gotta believe in yourself. And, okay. There's a tower coming for you that is going to liberate you from insanity. So doing the same thing over and over again is literally like the definition of insanity, right? So like how I was saying, you need to just do the thing instead of like going in the same cycle. I just heard that Rihanna song where it's like round and around and around and around we go. Like, Spirit's like, can you stop going around and can you just see if the key fits? So basically, you've just been scared, right, to see if the key fits or if it doesn't. But you've been going round and round in circles, making you crazy. The moon, lunacy, the moon. So you've just been going crazy. You need to bring the balance with the yin and the yang. And you need to just face the situation head on. because your perceptions, the only thing holding you back is your mind. Like, she's not chained away from this key. She's choosing not to put it in the door. She's not tied up. She's perceiving that she's tied up. So there is a tower moment coming, but it's going to liberate you. And the tower doesn't have to be bad. Like I said, let's just use that example of friends with benefits again. You've been avoiding, maybe you really like this person, but you've just been going in the friends with benefits circle because both of you are afraid to get your hearts broken. And then you say, fuck it, let's try. Let's actually try and date. Let's do it. And then the tower is, my nose is itching. For some of you, someone's coming back who you haven't spoken to. The tower is that, oh my God, we are compatible and I am falling in love. And guess what? My heart isn't even being broken. My heart being broken was a figment of my imagination. And it was a problem that I was creating before it even happened. And then it liberates you from this insanity cycle. And it's a tower, but it's not a bad tower. The false foundation was the one you created in your head. Like, it's liberating you from a reality that doesn't exist, that you've created through your own anxiety or perceptions. So there is a tower moment coming, but I feel like it's like a healthy tower, a good tower, a tower that brings love, right? A tower that brings love and self-love and clear communication, because you're not putting up with the weird communication anymore. And it feels like, oh yeah, well, it'll all work out when pigs fly. Well, what is that pig doing? It's flying, you know? Friendly skies. Look, the moon again. This could happen during a moon cycle, or you might be talking to the moon or connecting with the moon. But Spirit's saying, like, remember that, like, we're on your side. Like, we're not here hoping that the key doesn't fit. We're here to help you and show you that, hey, the key does fit. And you know what? If the key doesn't fit, it ain't the end of the world, because we're still here. We're friendly skies. We're here supporting you. Oh, this ended up being so long. Why do I do this to myself? Why? I just don't know how to stop talking, I think. Crazy Mystique. So this, like I was talking about, is about your life looking different than other people's. And I feel like this has to do with, like, your emotions. Like how I was saying, like, your kindness isn't a weakness. Your empathy isn't a weakness. Your sensitivity isn't a weakness. Like, it's actually a strong point. And so I feel like this card is just reiterating that, like, yeah, no, your life doesn't look how other people's lives look, because you're not supposed to be exactly like everybody else. You're supposed to be you. You're supposed to be sensitive. You're supposed to be extra loving. You're supposed to be extra kind. Like, that's just who you are. That's how you're supposed to be. You're not supposed to be like everyone else. The next person you give your heart to is going to protect it. We have Michael, Prince Charming of Protection. This is about Archangel Michael, and I just feel like I said, like how I said, you, like, need love, and you need someone who's going to support you, and you need real romantic love, not like manipulative or conditional romantic love. The next person that you do give your heart to is going to protect it, and in turn you're also going to be protecting their heart. So you don't I just heard you've learned. So you've learned the red flag, so you're not going to fall into the same situations of the past because you've learned your lesson. And you have a lot of fear around that. You have a lot of fear around opening up because of what you've been through. This is about good things coming in the future, but also about getting creative and making sure that you're doing things to creatively, I feel, move your emotions. So, like, dancing helps me move my emotions a lot, stretching, maybe some yoga. There are a lot of creative ways, even painting out your emotions, writing song lyrics of your emotions. Do something creative to move and alchemize your emotions. And then, angelic personal trainer. It feels like you're being asked to do so much right now, but it's all for your highest and greatest good. Like, your personal trainer doesn't yell at you. Not like, they're not really yelling at you, but they don't, like, yell at you like, come on, one more set. They're not doing that because they want to torture you. They're doing that because they want you to succeed and because they want you to be healthy and strong. And so Spirit's just acknowledging that everything that you're going through right now is because they're trying to make you healthy and strong emotionally and spiritually. And physically too for some of you. And then we have the yes cake. I feel like the next person you give your heart to, you're gonna marry. For real, like the next person you actually actively start dating and getting feelings for and starting to fall for, I really do feel like it's going to be the person you end up, if you want marriage or just your life partner. And like I said, they're gonna take that role seriously. And I feel like you haven't had, like I was saying about the like little stray dog that like needs protection. I just feel like, you know how people say, oh, they're like a kicked dog. It feels like every time you went looking for protection, you got kicked instead. And it's like this time you actually get the protection, right? And it's not wishy-washy. Like I said, they're not taking you in and then putting you back out on the street. No, they're taking you in and they're taking you in. And then we have, ideas coming your way. I'll set newsflash. This is just Spirit, like, reiterating, like, yes, this is the truth. And also, when you go, you should go lay out under the moon and under the stars, and you're going to get, like, downloads of psychic information while you're laying out under the moon and stars. So that's all I have for you, Group 3. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll check the chat, and then I'll tell you about my spell, and then I gotta go. Been on here 100 minutes. We appreciate you sharing your gifts with us so muchly. You're welcome, Revelcraft. You good, thank you. Oh, bye, Jade Bomb. What's going on? Are people fighting in here? Yeah, guys. Ugh, why we gotta fight in here? And listen, if one of my moderators feels the need to ban someone, it's not an abuse of power. It's literally why I assign them. I trust all my moderators. You are so cool and funny. Greats from Sweden. Wow, cool. Clara, thanks for being here. Accountability and responsibility cuts both ways. This is a space for women who have been harmed, and if you continue to make excuses for those men and blame the women, you will not be welcome here. I agree, Indigo. I agree. Like, and yeah, accountability goes both ways. Like I said, I trust my moderators. Oh, are we upset about how I said that those men made women get abortions? Unless you know what that's like, you don't really get to speak on that. Especially if you're a man and you can't even get pregnant, like, you don't really get to speak on that. Like, I know I want to create a safe space for everyone to talk, but you shouldn't talk about things you don't know about. You'll never know. You'll never know what that's like. You'll never know what it's like to carry a child in your body. You'll never know what it's like to be manipulated and forced into, I don't even know what that's like because I've never had that experience, and I am a woman, and I would never pretend that I understand what that's like. I can only have empathy for it, but I would certainly never blame someone who went through that. Some women get so stressed by their man that they miscarry. That's the truth. My little girl that passed, I was 7 weeks. Oh, I'm so sorry, Monique. Well, I'm happy that she came through to give you a message. "100%. I'm not compromising in a relationship. I don't want to settle." Exactly. I feel like that gets people in trouble. Samantha, if you want, you can book a reading with me through my website, DutchessDivinity.com. Good evening, lovely, watching from the UK. Thanks, Yvonne. My twin sister says I'm too sensitive and I live with her, so I can't get away from her. I'm sorry, Faith. Just know that your sensitivity is a strength, not a weakness. But that's pretty cool you have a twin, even though you're not really getting along. It's still cool. Thank you for the read, Dutch. I'll watch back when I can. Yeah, thanks for being here, Indigo. It's great. It's great always to see you. Indigo brought some really good topics to Patreon last Tuesday. It was really fun. And by the way, guys, just a heads up, I mildly announced it on Patreon, but I haven't announced it yet fully, but we're going to be moving Patreon over to my website because Patreon is just giving crazy fees to me and they're hitting my subscribers with these crazy fees, and then they're hitting me with these crazy fees, and then I was like, wait, why don't I just put it on my website? So I have to see if I can build a forum like Patreon. I should be able to, but yeah, either way, it's going to be moving to my website, so just keep a heads up about that. Just here looking for my soul family. Well, you came to the right place, girl. Can you make a future spouse pick a card? Yeah, I think I did one recently. Look at my recent lives and my recent videos, because I know YouTube doesn't recommend me anymore because thug life. I don't know. They don't like me. But, can it be all the shit I talk? Just kidding. But, anyway, yeah, I did one recently, a message from your future spouse. So check that out. And, yeah, maybe I'll do another one. That's horrible, I agree. That's not fair to the woman or child, but you guys will never know what it's like to be a man and to be oppressed by women too, but you don't have to be something to acknowledge it. No, I don't know what it's like to be a man and to be oppressed by a woman, but I do know what it's like too to be a woman oppressed by another woman. The biggest, not that it's about me, I'm not trying to make it about me, but the biggest compliment that I got about the Salem retreat was that all the women genuinely supported each other. It's very rare in my experience and in many other women's experiences to have a room full of women that are just there to be nice to each other. I know how awful women can be, and I've talked about that. I did a whole live where I talked shit about the Bonnie Blues and the Lily, whatever her name is, the girl who was like, I'm gonna sleep with 1,000 men, it was normal or something. I don't just talk, I talk shit about women too. I talk shit about women and I talk shit about men and everything in between. I talk shit about trans sometimes if they're acting out of pocket. I understand that. I'm not saying that. I am saying though that it's a unique experience to women. Men will never know what it's like to carry a child in your body. You just won't. And so, no, I don't know what it's like to be a man oppressed by a woman, but I do know what it's like to be a woman oppressed by other women. So we all have our unique experiences. And that's it. I'm glad you acknowledged degeneracy, Duchess. Thank you. Yeah, no problem. I don't like degenerates. I'll always be that way. I don't know how to not acknowledge degeneracy. I can't stand it, and I don't make any excuses for people either. Like I was saying, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a man, woman, trans, if you fell from the sky and you're a fucking Octurian. I really don't care. If you're acting funny, I'm gonna say something, because that's just who I am. Anyway, let's talk about my spell, and then G2G, aka I got to go. If you guys are not hip with the AIM lingo, AIM, instant messenger. It's the newest thing. Just kidding. All right. Okay. My spell. This is a big one, guys. I'm like really looking forward to this one. It's loading. Just one moment, please. Okay. I just put new pictures on my website because, I like my website to look like an eerie Tumblr account or something like that, or a MySpace account. I like that it looks not modern and, it fell from 2002 into 2025. But, yeah, so check that out if you like Tumblr pictures. I've never even had a Tumblr. It's just the look I'm going for. Okay. So the spell we're doing is the Quantum Leap Clean Sweep, and we're doing it with Clement. Here he is, our guide on this journey. I'm so fucking serious when I said his head literally turned. I hope I catch something like that on camera. He literally turned his head to look at my cat, and I was like, ugh. Okay, my haunted doll, Clement. Oh, guys, also, too, if you want to see the Nephilim realm in modern pop culture, I think it's called the Nitro Circus. Maybe it's not the Nitro Circus. It's something circus on Netflix, and it's basically about this girl who puts on a headset, aka Meta, right? She puts on a headset and then she can't remove it, and then she gets sent to this really creepy void, and the ruler of the void is called Cain, Cain and Abel in the Bible, and she's in this creepy void with these Nephilims, and they it's interesting. There's supposed to be 9 episodes. They've only done 4 so far, but yeah, check it out if you're interested in that. Okay. My Quantum Leap Clean Sweep. I am going to literally quantum leap and physically remove myself from the reality where the Matrix, my enemies, the planets, life circumstances, health problems, self-sabotage, etc. are working against me. I am going to shed that reality like a skin, vibrate above it, and land in a new parallel timeline where those issues don't exist for me. I am going to leave my enemies chasing their tails in circles within the dumpster fire of their own creation they are so desperately trying to drag me into. So the reason I'm doing this is because Spirit was just showing me there's a lot of dark magic on me, and being online, and people just turn on me all the time. People will just suddenly be like, you're a cult leader, you're a demon, you're this, you're that. Being a spiritualist online just leaves you open, 1, to crazy people, but 2, it leaves you open to people who are learning magic and don't fully understand it and are just throwing curses everywhere, or those who do understand magic and do a lot of magic but just don't like me, so then they just want to fucking curse me. And so from what I was seeing, there's just a lot of curses on me, and you know what, I just don't feel like going back and forth and freaking sending it back and oh, I'm gonna curse them too. I'm so tired of that shit. I don't want to do that anymore. So I've been asking my spirits for days. I'm like, what should I do? And they told me I need to do Italian magic, cord cutting and evil eye removal of old Italian magic, which makes sense because I'm Italian. And then they said that I need to literally vibrate out of that timeline, hop to a parallel timeline, and leave all that shit there. They can curse and do whatever they want and be on this hamster wheel for as long as they want to, but I'm literally going somewhere else. I'm leaving. Bye. Bye. So that's what I'm doing. That's what we're doing with this spell. And if you want to do it with me, you're welcome to come along for the journey, but this is what I need to do. So, yeah, I am going to leave my enemies chasing their tails in circles within the dumpster fire of their own creation they are so desperately trying to drag me into. I no longer consent to existing in the same reality or timeline as them, and I don't consent to these hardships anymore. Feel free to join me in this 3-part Italian magic spell, crossroads offering, and meditation if you feel similarly. This working is great for anyone with several people doing black magic against you or an ancestral curse placed on your family line. Like in Holes, when he didn't carry Madame Zeroni up the mountain, so like all the family lines get cursed, you know. If you have a lot of evil eye on you or many people wishing your downfall, you feel like you can't break through to the next phase of your life, you want a completely clean slate to move forward, you have karmic or abusive people stuck in your life, you can't break out of poverty or poverty mindset, you have poor health issues, you want to create a completely new life for yourself, you have connections to Seraphim or Nephilim, good or bad, you have seen the gateway of stairs and the gateway of stairs and doors, or the hall of doors, what I talked about in the beginning, the gateway of stairs and doors. Also, people have talked about seeing just this long hallway of doors. Cornica's spirit was actually there in the last 2 days that she was on Earth. Her spirit was going up to like this hallway of like doors and windows. I just got covered in chills. And she was making her decision on crossing over and stuff. Yeah, so if you have seen the gateway of stairs and doors or the hall of doors in a dream, meditation, or a psychedelic trip, and also anyone who needs a really good boost of positive cleansing energy. For this working, it's a 3-part working. For this working, I will be doing an Italian magic, cord cutting, and evil eye removal on each individual who participates. So you will literally get like the video. I am doing it on each, instead of like working a candle, it's like, I'm not going to say what I do, but like I'm going to go through the video and it's going to be like, for example, Sarah, and then I do the whole ritual, and then I go to the next person and I'm like, Bob, and then I do the whole ritual. So like you'll see the cord cutting ritual and you'll each get it done individually. Let's see. So for this working, I will be doing an Italian magic, cord cutting, and evil eye removal on each individual who participates. I will also be giving an offering at the crossroads to the spirits and gatekeepers for abundance and road opening for each individual. So I'm going to be going down to the crossroads and just asking them to clear the way for us, like as we make this major quantum leap and shift to this parallel timeline, so that we don't have any blockages, like, because the crossroads spirits, they open the way, right? And we're going to this crossroads like space to quantum leap. Lastly, we will be doing a meditation with Clement, our little friend Clement. And he's so happy. I feel like he's like, I'm getting so much airtime today. We will be doing a meditation with Clement, my haunted doll, at the gateway of stairs and doors to fully quantum leap. So I'm taking us there. Like, we're going there astrally. We're literally going to physically pull that timeline off of us. And then we're going to go to the gateways of stairs and doors and choose our new parallel timeline. I'm excited. This is going to be fucking awesome. It's going to be intense, but it's going to be awesome. At the gateway of stairs and doors to fully quantum leap removes ourselves from our current oppressive reality and solidify ourselves on our highest possible timeline. Please make sure the email you use at checkout is correct, as that is where I will be sending the videos of the working as well as the private meditation. Please allow 3 days after the spell for me to send everything. No refunds or exchanges. Thank you. I look forward to working with you. Disclaimer, spell work and energy healing are not a substitute for medical attention or medication. It can and will help, but I am not a doctor. Please continue. Oh, I guess it didn't put my full message. I gotta fix that. But it was supposed to say, please continue to follow your doctor's advice. But it got cut off at the end there. So, yeah. Anyway, that's a spell that we're doing. I'm really excited for that. I think it's going to be extremely beneficial. It's going to be on April 24th. It is $303 because it is 3 spells combined. Well, 3 different aspects of the spells combined, but like I said, it's going to be really powerful. So yeah, that's that, and I'll check the chat one more time and then I gotta go. A lot of my good friends are Italian. Nice people, good food. Hell yeah. Thanks, Johnny. I've been fasting. Nice. Fasting is hard right now. Haters are your biggest fans. Thanks, Clara. I feel you, but energy is white light. I can see it. That's good. Oh my god, the site revamp looks good. Thank you, Kenna. I like it too. Yeah, that's it for me. The truth, I can see the energy changing when it's going into a different dimension. Love that for us. But I'm gonna go, guys. I've been on here a really long time and I'm starting to feel like worn out. So I'm gonna go. I love you guys. Thank you. And I'll put the timestamps and I'll link the spell, and I'll see you soon. And if you're in the Lent class, I'll see you later tonight. Can you shout me out? Katela, how do I say that? Katela, wait, I don't know if I can say your name. Katelia. I hope I said it right. Okay, bye. Have a beautiful time. Goodbye. Love you. Bye.